just here in one of the edible forest gardens I created. One of the benefits of establishing a perennial system like this is it's having that genetic resource there as security for our food and our medicine. Because once you have a diverse range of perennial species in your landscape, you can easily propagate them. So here we've got blackcurrant. Blackcurrant, you can just cut off a pencil size piece of wood, stick it in the ground and it will grow. It's the same with many other fruiting shrubs like gooseberry or the honeyberry, what we've got in this landscape. So here we've got a blackcurrant that I took a cutting from last year, and now you can see it emerging. So as long as where you put this in the ground, it doesn't have too much competition. So really putting it in its own bed, pot, or just making sure there's no weeds or other plants growing around it. We live in a time where our food is shipped over thousands of miles, and from harvest to plate can quite often be around 6 months. Every bit of time from harvest to when you actually consume the food, it reduces in nutritional quality. But not only this, it's also grown often on soils which are depleted in vital nutrients, and the food grown is cultivated for its aesthetics and its shelf life, which means that they often have very low nutritional quality. Whereas when you compare this to a diverse perennial food system, like the one we see here, where we're growing a variety of different berries, leaf crops, teas, we're growing perennials, which the perennials carry on living from year to year, and they have deep root systems that harvest nutrients, and these plants actually act as our medicine. So yeah, even if we weren't to get all of our food from the edible forest garden, even if we were getting a small quantity, that can have a huge impact on our health and the environment and the larger impact of our food system. In a perennial system like this, you can really select the plants to match what you want from your landscape. In the intention for this planting, we wanted to have a diversity of different teas to be able to harvest throughout the season. So we've got lemon verbena, fennel, mints, so that we can actually harvest these medicinal teas to support our health. So in here I've tied in a variety of different perennial vegetables. So we've got perennial kale here that you can propagate very easily. You can just pull off a section like that, stick that in the ground, and that will grow. So from this one plant that can grow and live for up to 8 years, you can then propagate it and have kale for the rest of your life from just getting one plant. When we cultivate plants in a system that mimics a natural woodland like we are here, you've got a diversity of plants which act like a close-knit plant community, all locked together, and that's echoed underneath the ground in their root structures, because you've got all of these different types of roots connecting together, filling up all of the space, and then what they're doing is they're taking the sun's energy and releasing that into the soil, which then feeds the microorganisms, and it's those microorganisms that make the nutrients available, which then brings it up into the plant, like we've got the blackcurrant here, and then puts those nutrients into the berries, which then we can consume. And when you look at a annual vegetable garden where they're cultivating the soil year on year, that disrupts this sensitive web of microbes in the soil, which particularly fungal hyphae, because in the soil we've got just underneath 1 foot of healthy soil, you can have up to 900 miles length of fungi, and that's like fungal roots, which in the soil they're all connecting the plants, and actually if we disrupt that, that's the plant's ability to be able to harvest nutrients and water. So then the annual vegetables in sort of a standard vegetable garden where they're cultivating every year, what you're doing is you're creating dependency on the person to be feeding and watering those plants. Whereas in a system like this, where we've got this diversity of plants and then they're feeding a healthy microbiology in the soil. That then creates a resilient system that if there's drought or nutrient deficiencies, that's fine, because the plants are connected through these fungal webs and they share water and nutrients. So by doing that, you're creating a resilient system that supports people and wildlife. Nice one. Cheers for watching and take care.